All right, folks, sorry about that, but welcome back to Outside Interference. We do apologize for the technical difficulty, but nevertheless, we're going to get back into the top 10. Or actually, you know what? For those watching, we're going to start this all the way over. Welcome to Outside Interference. I am Mel. Thank you for joining us tonight. We did have some issues. Apparently, EFW decided they weren't going to do our show, which is unfortunate, but yet we have to keep the show going. So here we go. Uh, We've been sent the EFW top 10. So we will go back, and for those watching, we will start this all the way over, and we'll start at number 9 in the EFW top 10. At number 9, we got Christian. Wait, hold up. They don't. Why do you only send me 9? Yeah, okay. Whatever the case is, at number 9, Christian Napier. If you watched our show, the very first episode with Ashton Day, Ashton had some very harsh words to say about Christian Napier. So because he had those words to say about Christian Napier, it's been an issue challenge, and hopefully we get that match between Napier and Ashton Day because, again, as we don't know about Napier, we do know about Ashton, and Ashton is one of the better competitors in the ring that you're going to see in this generation. Dare I say he's the top competitor in this generation, and it's going to be a showdown between two people who have a history together. So, because they got a history together, I'm excited to see how this plays out. Wait, hold up.
Yeah, man.
Lonnie Rotten, how did you get on my screen? What are you doing?
So I didn't really want to do this this shit show that you guys have here, but unfortunately my PR person called me and told me that you're not even doing the list right. The list goes from the list goes from 1 to 10, best to what I think is kind of maybe, I want to say worse than EFW, but lower on the rankings right now to prove themselves. And obviously,
your PR people told us you weren't even going to be here. You decided at the last minute.
Yeah, I really didn't want to do this here. Let me do this so you can better see me, because I feel like the light should be on me at all times. But
wow.
Yeah, I don't understand why you're even doing the countdown wrong. Like, is this what this show is about? This is probably the reason why I didn't want to do the show, but I guess I have to come on and correct it.
Well, first off, let's start here. Your PR person sent us a list of 9 people. So how does that work? If it's a top 10, how do you know what? We'll delve into that.
Okay.
So because you're on now and you decided to join us, here's what we'll do. I'll go from 1 to 9 because you only sent us 9. I don't know why. So at number 1, you got Vanilla Gorilla, Nick Rashear.
Of course.
Obviously, we know who Nick is. We've seen it's not hard to miss Nick. Nick is the guy in EFW.
When you're about 6'3", 300 pounds, professional undefeated MMA fighter, it's kind of not hard to miss you, and that's why he's my right-hand man there. That's why he's my security, top security right there. He protects me in and outside that ring and makes sure that I'm safe.
So obviously, that's why you hired him.
Mm-hmm.
At number 2, we have Kano, Josh Emanuel. Now, I've seen Josh in the ring before. We've known Josh very well. Josh has spent time in WWE. Josh has spent time in Mexico, Canada. He's been around the world. Why him? Why do you have him on the list? I'm curious.
Do I need to answer your questions for you? You just said it all. Look at the experience he has. He's been around the world. He's wrestled everywhere. He's got experience in the top of the company in WWE. And then now look at him. The man is a monster in jiu-jitsu. He's got Zenith Jiu-Jitsu out there in Cleveland, and he's destroying everyone. So not only do I have a guy who could punch your face in and destroy you with one hit, the Vanilla Gorilla, I now have a guy that can take you right down and rip your arm off too. So I got the best of both worlds going for me, and that's why I hired them both.
So basically, you just hired guys to extort money, because whether you choose to accept this or not, there's a rumor. A very strong rumor going around EFW that you're hiring guys that you can pay to extort money from other companies or other promoters.
I'm glad you called it a rumor. I don't really have to answer that question. It's no one's business what I do and what I don't do with my money. It's no one's business where I send them, who I have them sabotage. Who's on my side, who's not on my side. We all kind of live that way in this business. And it just so happens to me that, my brother, John Rotten, who passed away, decided to leave me this company and a lot of money with it. So if people don't like that, I really don't care.
And they say Sonny Ono was bad. Okay, moving on. At number 3, you got
Hold on,
Ashton
real
Day.
quick. How did you get that EFW shirt? Did you pay for that or did you steal that? Because I don't remember you having a shirt, buddy. On your last podcast, you didn't have that shirt.
Well, your PR person sent it to us and told us to wear it in honor of you being on, but you decided not to come on, then you decided to come back on.
That would make sense. That would make sense. I was just making sure that, a company like yours didn't steal things from a company like mine. That's all.
Man, we're the number 1 company in Cleveland. Why do we need to steal anything? Like, why do At number 3, you got...
Just ask it. Is it hard? You can ask questions, but I can ask them back?
I didn't say you couldn't, but to accuse us of stealing a shirt when we're at almost every pro wrestling show in Northeast Ohio.
Hey, I'm just making sure you're not going in the bin, man. That's all. I'm just trying to protect my company, Let's go on to number 3. Go ahead.
Ashton Day.
Superstar.
And rightfully so.
Yeah.
The Ultra Star. He's on the list. He's been in EFW. He's had a few run-ins with J-Rock, Dios, McChesney. What made you put him on the list, and why is that? Yes, you have your hired muscle on the top of the list, but obviously he's the top guy that everybody wants to sign, yet you have him at number 3 on the list?
So if you see these symbols right here, the EFW logo, if you're not with me, you're below me, and it's just that simple. I have all the respect in the world for Ashton. Hell of an athlete. Amazing talent, been in AEW. If I'm being honest with you, I think he's probably the next thing out of this city that's going to blow up. I think he's like a Ziggler, like a Johnny, Gargano, but I think he's above that. This kid is something else, man. It just, I watched the show last week and I didn't really like the way he disrespected me, saying he'll do what he's got to do in my company to get gold. Good luck to him. You would have to probably go through Josh and Vanilla Gorilla for that one, but hey, I respect the effort. Kid's got heart. Like you said, he's wrestled with Dio, Salvador, J-Rock, and McChesney. People from out of state, and he's winning. He's doing his thing. He's very, very, very good competition in the ring, and the kid's just going to be the next thing. I could feel it. So that's why I got to put him at the top of the list, but below my guys who don't rock with me.
Fair enough. At number 4, you have J-Rock Daddy. Okay, I've seen J-Rock for years. I don't agree with his tactics all the time, but at the same time, J-Rock is one of those guys. He's been around the block. He's been in WWE for a time. He's been to Mexico, been to Canada. He's been around the world as well. Truthfully, my money is on J-Rock winning the EFW World Heavyweight title, but this is your company, so what say you?
Oh, it's not a bad bet on your part. I'll be honest with you. Again, I don't see anyone getting through Josh or Nick. I know there's certain situations like where I cost Josh his shot in the tournament, and I'll admit that. I got on the ring apron and tried to get the ref to do his job a little bit better, and well, as you see, I got pushed into by Alex Daniels and launched into the guardrail, and then it cost the match. So that's why Alex Daniels has been indefinitely suspended. There's another announcement for you.
Wow.
He's been indefinitely suspended from EFW for that incident. So if I ever want to bring him back in, we'll go from there. But when you put your hands on the owner, there's repercussions for that, and he cost us our match by doing that. So
you were on the apron. You're not even supposed to be up there as a manager.
I'm not going to discuss that forward with you. But as far as J-Rock goes, again, great talent. The guy's been doing it for 20 plus years, been around the world. And if anyone can pull off any kind of tactics to win a match, whether it be cheating or not, whatever someone wants to call it, you win how you got to win. And, he's right up there with the top of the talent in Ohio, if not all of America. He comes
crazy.
Out and your crowd hates him and they can't stand him. I've watched him almost cause riot in cities because of his mouth, and my kind of guy in life. Yeah, anyone who could speak their mind and talk how it is, my kind of guy in life, so I respect him.
Tim, I get it. You work for the man, but you know just as well as I do, you can't just hop up on the apron in the middle of a match. Not only do you put yourself in danger, but you put your wrestlers in danger. You could have
I
got
was
hurt,
trying to
Justin,
correct the ref
Roddy.
because the ref was counting too slow. There's a big difference.
He
Big
wasn't
difference.
counting slow. It was no count. It was no slow count. Like, you know what? We're gonna move on. We're gonna be professional. Thank you for being on.
This is why I don't want to. That's why I told my PR person. That's why I want to be on. I knew I was going to get accused of stuff. I knew it.
We didn't accuse you of anything. All I said was you're not supposed to be up there.
It's
That's
my
a
company.
true
If I
statement.
want to be up there and tell the ref to count faster because he's not counting right, I can.
Okay. Fair enough. It is your company. You are their manager,
And as
especially
you
with
see,
Kano.
Nick Barney, the referee, isn't back at Adrenaline of One yet. So we're gonna have a
Wow.
talk with him. He's not at this
Wow.
show for a reason.
Man, you are heartless.
I try.
Clearly. All right. Number 5, Mr. Crummels. Mr. Crummels has been undefeated in EFW.
Yeah.
It wasn't always pretty, but he manages to get the win. I'm interested in seeing what is Mr. Crummels' deal? Is he signed? Is he not signed?
Oh yeah, Mr. Crummels is signed to an EFW contract. When you have a star like that who is undefeated, and pulls out all stops to get a win, you have to sign someone like that. How could you not? You know, that's you want to see him win. You're cheering for undefeated, even if you hate him. You want to see him lose, so he gets that 1 in his loss column. Again, another heavy favorite to win the tournament. When you have no losses on your record, and you've gone against some pretty top talent in our company, it shows a lot. So give him a couple more tests, a couple big tests, and see how he does. See how he does in the tournament. And again, a top talent in this state, in this city, and he should be definitely getting booked all around because the guy's amazing talent. But again, undefeated with us. I don't know how he does at other places, how his focus is at other places. But when it comes to Extreme Fight World, he's locked in and has not lost a match yet.
I can't argue with that, honestly. All right, at number 6, Big League John McChesney. McChesney, one of those other worldly veterans who you think is old, but he's still at the top of his game. He's obviously got the best Northern Light suplex you're ever going to see. Is he the ringer that everybody's been talking about backstage or in the dirt sheets that you have, or is it just he's here to win the title? Because we don't even know what this bracket looks like yet.
Yeah, obviously there's some things that might possibly change with it. I didn't really like the way, obviously, how me and Kano didn't get our spot in there. So with Alex Daniels having his number on that tournament and him being definitely suspended, I'm sure there's going to be some changes where people get in there and take his spot. Can't speak on who that is. But let me be the first to explain to you about John McChesney. I don't know if anyone's aware of this. A long time ago, I used to do this as well. That's why I'm not afraid of anyone in that ring. I just happen to buy protection because I know how rough this business could be. So that's why no one's going to get to me. But I've been on numerous cards with McChesney. Jeez, I could think back and think of when he wrestled AJ Styles. Him and J-Rock did a triple threat on the same match I was, and it was amazing. So the dude's been all over. He's worked the best of the best, and nothing but respect for McChesney. Even though we might not see eye to eye a lot with some of my tactics that I do, and he's a good guy, but just is what it is. I still have to have respect for him, even though we don't see eye to eye with how we both handle things.
Tim, I'm not calling McChesney an old man. He literally has been around the game, and these younger guys that are coming in right now would say he's an old man. He's been in the league. He's been in the game over 20 years, man.
I think they would call it a seasoned veteran, but
in football they call him an old man. I'm just going with the flow. Nevertheless,
in fighting they call people old man too, so I guess I'll give you that when you've been around for a while.
Nevertheless, at number 7, you literally put the entire mission at number 7. This is mind-boggling to me because the last few dojo wars that we've seen, the mission has not been the kindest to people. And this is supposed to be a church. Now we saw Bob on the show last week going at it with Pastor Stilo.
Yeah, I've seen it, unfortunately.
Why the entire mission?
Why not? They're my kind of people. Whether you guys want to feel that the pastor is a little shady or not, or crooked, that's people's opinions. I think the guy's a hell of a pastor. I think he's leading his group into an amazing mission in this company of trying to get either their gold straps, the future gold that's coming to EFW, or they're trying to get the EFW heavyweight title. I respect it either way. Any guy that can, in any group that can be that unified and led, kind of like how we are, me and Vanilla Gorilla and Emmanuel over there, Josh. It's it's a mind-blowing thing when you can have a group of people like that come together and be on all one group. So I understand that they have the little church. I understand that they have the mission, and that's why they're calling themselves the mission or like a church, whatever they want to go by. It's up to them. But I understand why their mission is in EFW, and unfortunate for them if it's heavyweight gold. I'm going to put an end to that mission, and if it's some other journey, to let them go on it. But I respect all of them. Hell of athletes. Pastor CeeLo, Sebastian, Raven, Butchie. I mean, all great young up and coming talents, and just amazing group. Probably one of the, if not the top group besides us in Ohio.
Tim, we are not out for CeeLo. We're not out for the mission. We actually have a duty to our public and audience to investigate things that might sound shady. You say we saw the. I saw the show personally last week, and this is directed at Tim.
I thought you were picking on him last week. I think the pastor's a good guy. I don't think he does anything shady. Maybe he comes off, rubs people the wrong way. He comes out, collects donations. He probably gives them to nonprofit charities. I don't think he's going to be the type of man that puts the charities in his pocket. I'm just saying.
He comes out with a red plastic cup that you would get at the club. Come on, man.
Maybe it's like what do people do? Or they drink the blood of Christ or whatever religion you are. Maybe that's it. Maybe you're just judging him.
And to our records, he was supposed to have a collection plate, but doesn't anymore. We don't know. Apparently, he said Dio Salvador stole it, but that's been
probably
confirmed
rumor.
or denied.
I could actually, I would tell you that's rumors, but I could see that being true. Dios is kind of that kind of person. So,
well, see, all right, moving along. At number, is that 8? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
At number 8, we have Vinny Maverick. The last time we saw Vinny Maverick, he was in the Battle Royal at Dojo Wars. I believe it was 6 or 7, and he throws out the last 2 people. He gets eliminated by Big Nick, Vanilla Gorilla, and they go at it all the way to the back. You think he might take this as a slap in the face and a little bit of a disrespect that he's number 7, and even though he feels he probably should be higher?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't put him on there. That was my PR person actually begging me to put him on there for the up and coming match he's gonna have. I didn't even book him. I don't care to book him. That was out of not out of my control because I can tell people what to do. But when you run an important big business, sometimes it's best to listen to your PR people and try to take your emotions out of it. But I'm not really okay with Vinny. He's messed up a lot of things for me. I'm not saying he's not a talent. I'm not saying he's not a talent at all. He's strong, big, but unfortunately I have someone bigger and stronger, and that's why I hired Vanilla Gorilla. So, like I said, I don't even want to put Vinny on this list. I unfortunately had to, but he's been pretty dominant in Ohio. Besides our company, he dominates other places, but you kind of met your match when you come up against me, big guy. So good luck.
Oh wow, he just actually responded on our comments. He said he's not okay with you. Okay, so
I'm not okay with Vinny either. I promise you. It's like I said, I wouldn't even have him around if it wasn't for my PR people and my bookers, because he's cost me too much already. It's not worth it. It's not worth someone like that.
But you've literally had it to where it's been a situation where this is where it's come. Like you've been in so many matches, you've turned on so many people. And now you've paid literally hired muscle to do your dirty work. Why would Vinny not be mad about this? Especially if you're saying he cost you.
I'm not saying he shouldn't be mad. I would be mad too if I had people better than me in life.
Oh wow!
If I had stronger people in life that has my back, I really don't know what he's thinking going against Vanilla Gorilla. I personally think he's crazy. I mean, you've seen Vanilla Gorilla. We've all seen him. He's a monster. I think Vinny's kind of bit a little bit more off than he could chew here, and I cannot wait to see what Vanilla Gorilla puts on him if he ever tries to step in our way again.
Tim, I'm starting to think you're more of a conspiracy theorist than you lead on. We don't get paid by EFW, nor do we get paid by any individual wrestler. We have been an independent company for the last 3 years. Nobody's paid us but the payments that we make or we get from sponsors.
I mean, to be a little bit honest with you, it sounds like you were kind of standing up for Vinny there. Like, why I shouldn't hate him. Why? Give me a reason why I shouldn't hate him. Go ahead.
You shouldn't. I'm not saying you shouldn't hate him for what he's done to you and to your cause, but what I'm saying is, if you're gonna be upfront about this, be fair to the fact that you kind of cost him a spot in the tournament as well.
I love it. I love every second of it. I don't want him in the tournament. I don't want him there. I don't see him as a threat, to be honest with you. But you know,
oh, wow.
he's kind of pushed the wrong button. So we'll see what he does. You know, we'll see how dominant he claims to be in other companies, and we'll see what he does here at Extreme Fight World. I'm gonna bet it's probably not a lot.
He literally just said Vanilla Gorilla is not a monster. He's waiting.
Yeah, respect the heart. What can you do besides respect someone's heart? You might think the brain's not big, but you got to respect their heart, right?
Oh wow, that was rude, man. Come on, that was a little over the line.
I mean, do you think it's kind of smart to go after Vanilla Gorilla? I don't. I want to do that because I'm smart enough not to do that.
Well, you paid him, so of course he's not going to go after you.
Of course. Why do you think I paid him? So no one else can. The guy's a monster.
Oh man, this
people who have money pay security. I can't just walk around in the streets by myself. You understand this? There's people who know who I am. I have to get myself defended.
You're saying it like it's a bad thing, but
let me ask you something. Do you think Justin Bieber just walks around with no one, or does he have security?
I didn't even know Justin Bieber was still alive, to be honest with you.
Well, that sounds like to me you don't understand pop culture or money, because that man is a little rich man. And he doesn't walk around the streets alone. He has security like me, so people can't rob him. Maybe you'll get there one day and understand that. Maybe you'll have to hire security for you so people don't try to rob you or try to, do things to you.
Your PR person did not say you take shots at people, but all right. At number 9.
Pew, pew, baby.
At number 9, we have Christian Napier.
Yeah.
We don't know much about Napier, but what we do know is from what Ashton told us on the very first episode, where originally Napier was the leader of Cash Inc. and Mega Championship Wrestling. It didn't work out. Ashton took over. For whatever reason, there's been this beef between him and Napier. So you have him on the list. I'm not even going to ask. I'm going to go under the assumption that he's already signed to the company. And you already had booked Ashton way before this. So what made you book Napier knowing that this is a time bomb waiting to explode?
A few reasons. Napier has been a great talent in Ohio for a while. He decided to walk away for a little bit, take his time. We all kind of do sometimes to get our heads together. He's back with the 440 now. I think he's doing better than ever, but unfortunate for him. I called Ashton right after your show because you know me. If you're going to run your mouth, I have no problem confronting you or letting my people come and confront you, like Kano or Nick. So called Ashton up and I said, "Hey, what was that about?" And he said, respectfully, Ronnie, that I'm a competitor, and no matter what, I'm coming for everyone's gold, no matter what company. And I kind of almost respected that to an extent. Anyone who could talk real and be real, you might make me mad and you might push the wrong button, which is bad for you if I decide to go that route. But at the same time, I can respect it. So
why do you have to choose violence?
I literally asked him directly. I said, "You know what? I know you got a title shot against EC3 the next day. I was going to be nice and try to give him an easy match. I was going to try to put him in there like against someone like Dio so we could just mop him real quick or someone like that." This was Ashton's choice. I reached out to him and said, well, you have a title shot the next day. Let's make it easy on you here so you could get yourself rested up. And he decided that he wanted to call out Christian. This was all in Ashton. I know he's very pumped for the match against EC3. I think instead of being a little scaredy cat or being really reserved, he's a real superstar and a real man, and decided to go against one of his biggest enemies and friends and to have a really good match and bust his ass before a title fight. You got to respect that, man. That's like
I
you know, back
do,
in the
but
day, UFC, where someone would fight two times in a night or 2 times every day, or he's that's why he's number 3 on my list, man. I have to respect it, and hopefully Napier can prove everyone wrong. Hopefully Napier, you know, he's already signed. I won't lie to you, Napier's already signed, so maybe he steps right in and comes and gets top 5. You beat Ashton, you're a top 5 talent instantly. You're top 5 ranked, so it's a great
so
opportunity for Napier.
that's how that works. You just beat one guy and don't work your way up to the top. You just straight down, straight up to the number 5 or
No,
whatever.
well, I'm not
Wow.
sure if you realize how like fighting rankings work, like boxing, UFC, our company, Extreme Fight World. But if you step in and you could beat a top 3 talent, or you know, because maybe a possibly number 1 rank or 2 rank, it kind of puts you up there at the top, man. You kind of get ranked real fast. You get bumped up there. It just shows your skill level. You know, it's people get title shots all the time that possibly aren't even the top 5. It happens, but because of injuries. But you know, Napier has a very big shot here, with not only with Extreme Fight World, but with his past with Ashton, and to shut Ashton up and to stop calling him out and saying he's got no heart. And, you know, you've seen some of the things that were not safe for work to post out there that Ashton said about him. So, good luck, Napier. Wish him all the best coming to Extreme Fight World. You have a hell of a apple to bite off there and chew.
Yeah, because Extreme Fight World is obviously not the normal pro wrestling organization, as we already see. You got MMA fighters, you've got lunatic muscle that you can hire at any given moment. So obviously, it's not going to be a normal match, I don't believe.
No, we
But
have knockout. You know, people get knocked out. We have, you know, if it goes past the 5-minute silent rounds, it goes to the judges, and then the third judge is the crowd. So we try to keep it as fair as possible here, and don't get yourself knocked out. Just that simple.
fair enough, because I've seen a few of these matches. They're almost 1990s UFC like, so I can agree with that. But I do have a question for you, because I'm still looking at this list. Your publicist, PR person, whoever she is, she sent me 9 people and I asked for a top 10. Now, I'm not yelling at you about this, but I am very curious as to why you had me only get 9 people. Why did you have her send 9 competitors instead of a top 10?
I don't think there's 10. I think we only have a top 9, and unfortunately, God, I didn't want to talk about this. I really didn't want to talk about this, and she begged me to talk about. I didn't want to give this energy to this. Me and Dio Salvador have a big past. We've fought each other in the past when we were younger. We both decided to step away from this game. He's came back. I've came back, obviously, in different fashions and forms. I now own a company. He's still out here trying to win gold. And God, I don't want to say this. I gotta respect his grind. All right, as much as I don't like him, as annoying as he is, as much of a loudmouth as he
Annoying.
is.
A
Yeah,
loudmouth?
he's
Wow.
real annoying. Real annoying.
Jesus.
I guess I got to put him number 10. And like I said, I didn't want to do this. My publicist asked me to do this. Ever since he's came in Extreme Fight World, he's got some good wins. Don't get me wrong. He's got some amazing wins underneath him. Are they legit? I'd probably say no.
He
Teach their own. Maybe the ref counted a little bit too fast. Maybe something happened. I don't know. I have to go back and watch the tapes. But me and Dio Salvador have had our own histories in the past. And it's not that I'm bitter or, mad or nothing that he got the best of me when we were, younger in tag matches or solo competition. We were younger. So obviously I'm not going to, hold that as a grudge or hold it above his head. I just don't like the guy. I can't stand him. Never have, never will. He's the kind of person that messes up your plans. He's the kind of person that speaks out against everything that you're against. And I don't care if the crowd cheers him. I don't care if the crowd hates him. I really don't care anything about him. I don't even want him in a title tournament. But unfortunately, it's like UFC not wanting to sign Brock Lesnar in a sense. Why would you not have a good talent in your company? I personally signed him to see him get his ass beat, if you want my honest opinion. That's why I even had him want to come into the company. I want to see him get destroyed. So I can't wait to watch what he does in this title tournament and watch him fail. That's my goal. I want to see him fail.
Jay, I'm with you, bro. Like, sheesh. Like, come on, man, that's a bit harsh. And Tim, an easy match.
Look,
Dice K is not even an easy person.
I'm gonna get a little bit closer so you can understand me and your whole crowd can. I don't give a shit about Dio Salvador, and I hope he loses every match in EFW and he goes back home crying every night.
Wow, Jesus Christ, man. They said you were mean, but I didn't think you was this mean, man.
Like I said, we have a past. We have a past. You know, he's gotten the best of me. I'll admit that, but you know, I'm not gonna let that affect my future with this company.
Okay, fair. I'm not gonna ask anything else about it. Tim, from our records, Dice K is a student at the EFW dojo, so apparently he's pretty much probably one of your better students. I don't know. I don't know. I've never heard you say nice things about your students, but what I do know is that he's held his own. And from our records, he arguably could possibly be one of the toughest outside of Nick and Ja and Kano. Like, I don't know. What I do know is
Dice K caught my attention in training. That little kitty cat wearing a mask guy over there. When I first seen him, I thought he was kind of just normal talent, knowing good. But we're giving him a shot here. We're going to see how he does against my guys. I decided to, even if he's not ready or prepared yet, you'll learn to get roughed up the right way and it'll motivate you. Or if I'm a betting man, I don't see him ever being able to put his hands on any of my guys over there. It'll probably be a quick one, but I like him. I like the guy. We're going to see what kind of talent he is, and that's why I'm putting him in a match higher up on the card to see and put the pressure on him. I want to see what him and the DJ can do. And at the same time, I want to give my guys a tune-up match. So he proves me wrong. He proves me wrong. We'll see what he does if he proves me wrong and see what button that pushes. But so far, I like the guy. He's been nothing but respectful to me. Shook my hand every time he sees me. Calls me Mr. Rodden. And even backstage, he's always been a good guy to us. So we'll see how he does. We'll see how Dice K does. And hopefully he doesn't end up getting too hurt with Vanilla Gorilla and Kano.
Well, speaking of that, let's talk about the card. Bring it on. We already in the ring, so here we go. Crummels and Pastor CeeLo. This is no particular order for those watching, but Crummels and Pastor CeeLo. Crummels are still undefeated in the EFW. Pastor CeeLo and him have had a couple run-ins. If I had to bet, I got to go with Crummels just because he's the undefeated guy, one of the very few undefeated guys in EFW, but we heard it last week. Pastor CeeLo says he's got something for him.
Hey man, that's going to be a hell of a match. I haven't seen something like that get put on in a long time in the city as far as two talents in the ring goes. I don't want to say who's going to win the match. I'm a gambling, I'm a betting man, and I know when it's safe to bet and when it's not safe to bet. And I wouldn't bet my money on that match. Anyone could come out on top, especially when you have, I'm not going to say Pastor sometimes when I have the mission get involved to help them out, but when you're a smart businessman, you do what you got to do to get the W, man. And like I said, I'm not putting money on this match. I'm not putting the money on this match.
So are you saying you've literally given the mission tips on how to win matches in EFW?
No, not at all. Not at all. I haven't given them tips at all. If I've done anything, I've given tips. I've donated to the pastor's church. I've donated money of my own to help Pastor CeeLo in his church. So that's the only tips I've given is money tips.
We don't even know where this church is, but never mind. Moving on.
I've been there. It's a great time.
Speaking of other members in the mission, Alejandra versus Sebastian LaShawn. We don't know where Alejandra came from. We have heard that she's a very athletic talent. We've seen Sebastian in the ring. Sebastian is very athletic, has some of the better kicks that you've seen. Most martial arts can't deliver.
Hell of a striker. She is a hell of a striker.
I gotta give that, honestly. I don't know, because I don't know about Alejandra. I gotta give this one to Sebastian, just because Sebastian can literally wiggle her way out of a bad situation.
I've watched my
Bob is not a crook, Tim. Bob is not a crook. He's my best employee.
Bob, Jesus, I've seen him last week. That was accusing a lot of the pastor of a lot of things. I watched my bookers reach out and watch Alejandra the Witch. They've all said great things about her. I personally have never seen her, but they said she's one hell of a fighter. She's got heart. And to be honest with you, this is Extreme Fight World's first women's match. Our bookers reached out to me, and apparently a lot of our fans have been asking for women's matches. You know, just like in UFC, they love seeing the women fight too. Their competition, their great competition, and we finally made it happen for the fans. So this is our first women's match for you. You guys asked for it, and we gave it to you. You know, there's sometimes you guys ask for a lot, and I really don't want to do it and give it to you, but there's sometimes I do give back to you like this. So
I thought it was about the fans. I really thought, you know,
it's more about
be at
me.
least.
It's more about me and my group of guys like Nick and Kano, and bringing gold home for us, because this company was given to me and I want to keep the gold with us. It's really no one else's company. But at the same time, you know, our PR people do a good job of handling the fans. It's not my choice. I kind of, you know, make sure that I'm safe and make sure that we're trying to make the right plan to bring gold back to us. But whatever the PR people want to do, whatever the media people want to do, it's up to them. So whatever they want to get back to our fans, they can do what they need to do. When it comes to booking matches like that, they got a hold of me, and I agreed with them for once. I said, yeah, go ahead, run it. If our fans want to see a different kind of talents fight, I'm all about that.
You know what? That's one thing we can agree on, because women's wrestling has made big strides in the last 10 years. And I think for the area that you are based out of, this would be huge, especially a known name and, you know, an up and comer in EFW. This could only get good. This could only get good and get better from here.
Yeah, but then you have, you know, a talent like Sebastian, who, like you said, those kicks, man. Oh my God, I've watched in the last few shows just get rocked with kicks. Speaking of Dice K, I watched Dice K bite her butt in a match. She's tough, man. She goes out there and just like what's a good comparison? Someone from Cleveland. Let's go with a girl like Jessica I from Cleveland who fought in the UFC. She would spar grown men and rough them up. So you got someone like Sebastian like that who can go out there and beat up big guys because of their striking abilities and know how to land accurate shots. And unfortunately, I don't care how big or little you are, if you get hit in the right spot, you're probably going to crumble or at least feel it. And
Yeah.
Sebastian has that down to a science with those kicks and the athleticism and flexibility. So good luck to the Witch, man. Whoever wins this one's got the crown right now for EFW for the women's crown. So best of luck to both talents. It's gonna be a hell of a match. Can't wait to go back and watch it, because I'm gonna be too busy worried about our match. So I'll go back and watch it on YouTube afterwards.
Indeed. Shout out to Jessica. Shout out to Sebastian and Alejandra on that one. Now, this one is intriguing. I want to know what made you book this one. Butchie versus Salvador versus J-Rock in a three-way dance.
Yeah. So Dios has unfortunately gotten the best of a couple guys here. Like I said, I don't know if it's fair. I don't know if the ref was counting too fast. I don't know if something happened. I really got to go back and watch it. I try to not watch as much things with Dios Salvador involved in as possible. But I'm gonna go out and bet that Dios Salvador is not gonna be able to beat 2 Minute one time in that ring. Butchie B, hell of a talent, comes from the Mission, probably top 5 in our company. Has had, you know, matches against people like McChesney, J-Rock. He's a great talent. You know, amazing up and comer in Ohio. One of the talents that should be getting booked all over. Honestly, the Mission should be getting booked all over. I don't think they do, because I think a lot of companies are afraid of them coming in and dominating and taking over their company. But unfortunately for them, they come to my place, where that's not going to happen with who I have surrounded by me. So I love to see what they do here in the company and love to see those kind of things. But J-Rock might win this one. He does whatever he does got to do to win. We've seen that happen. Dios is definitely not going to pull this one off. I'm going to bet Butchie or J-Rock on this one. Like I said, I made this match happen, so Dios can't do what he normally does and somehow pull off the win. Like I said, I'm going to Nick Barney's not around for a reason in the show. So we're going to see what Mars does. Mars is a new referee for us, and she's going to come in and do everything fair down the middle. That's what from what our PR people
but
said.
Nick did everything down the middle. So why'd you suspend him?
That's your opinion. A deal's won. We lost. There's a bunch of things that have happened where I don't really necessarily agree with what Nick did. I want to have a talk with him. And before I even have a talk with him, I'm just going to suspend him off the show. And then we could see how he feels about coming back next show and possibly working the right way instead of making a little bit faster or slower counts when he should, when it's important.
Okay, fair enough. I'm not going to tell you how to run your company. I just thought that yes, Tim, you are correct. Butchie and Kano was a classic. It was definitely one of the matches of the year the last time. No, we will not give it up one time, as because J-Rock has not been so kind to the media, and being that we are the media, that's kind of rude, But nevertheless, we're gonna move on.
Hey, I give it up one time for J-Rock. He's been around for a long time, and I've watched him take out a lot of talents around here. So again, whether he wins the way he wants to win or the way the fans want him to win, it doesn't matter. He wins.
That is true. Can't deny that. And like we said earlier,
that in common. No matter what happens, we're gonna win.
And like we said, J-Rock has been around the block. He knows how to win. He knows when to pull out the rabbit. So in that respect, I will give him his flowers. J-Rock is one of the best wrestlers to ever come out of Cleveland, Ohio. But outside of that, he hasn't been kind to the media. We've tried to get him for interviews several times, no luck.
I mean, I didn't want to be here, but he doesn't have a PR person telling him what to do. He's kind of his own man, and I guess sometimes I have to go in the direction of the company instead of what I really want to do. So, like I said, me and good old J-Rock over there probably have a lot in common. We have never really sat down and had a talk yet. So we'll see what the future holds.
Thankfully, that's a good thing. All right, moving on. A triple threat tag team match. Collins and Levin versus Beatdown versus Cash Inc. Now, before I even ask you how this came about, we do know about Cash Inc. We know Cash Inc. Tag team champions now, tag team champions in the past. We don't know much about Beatdown. Kenny Collins has been a competitor here at EFW. We don't know much about Levin. Is this your way of looking to sign Cash Inc. to your muscle group, like to your bodyguard group?
No. So what happened here is I actually want to see what kind of talent there is out there. I did an open invite for a tag match. These are the three guys, three groups that stepped up right away and said, "Hey, I want a contract. We want to show you that we're a dominant force and we can be dominant, and we want to get to your company." And that's what this came about. We only had a couple reach out to us. I think a lot of others were afraid of the competition that already signed up. But we're going to see the night. We're going to see the night this Friday on the 26th. We'll see, who shows up, who doesn't show up. Just because I did an open invite doesn't mean these guys are guaranteed to show up. Maybe they get some butterflies. They get afraid. It happens. But whoever wins this match is going to earn my respect. I'm going to have my eye on them as a owner and promoter, and we'll see what happens. Anything can happen in Extreme Fight World. So we'll see.
Now, Tim, this is interesting, Mr. Rotten, because you said your publicist your PR person was a woman, but Mr. Tim here is saying that he's sorry about booking this. So have we been talking to Tim the whole time, trying to book you on our show, or was this really your personal relations woman or public relations woman?
I'm kind of the kind of person where I have like I know you really want to understand this. Not a lot of people do. How can I explain this to people that are not rich? When you're too busy of a person like myself, and you're too valuable like myself, you have to have assistants and then assistants to the assistants. So Tim, who is actually a good friend of mine since childhood, that's why he's on with us. You know how it is when you got your homies, you get money, your homies got money, right? So Tim's been on with us. I have him personally book a lot of things for me, and then Tim will get a hold of my assistant PR person and then contact me. So that way Tim's not even wasting his time. He could just get a hold of a person and have them contact me, and it's over with. The luxury.
Okay, I get that part. I really do. But at the same time, like, You don't have to take shots at us all the time, man. We're literally here. Like, we're trying to do a service
Oh, I'm not
to our
saying
audience.
I'm saying everyone out there, not just your
Wow.
company. I'm saying every other company out there that's not Extreme Fight World.
Wow. You just shit on everybody, huh? Okay. Fair enough.
When you're the best, it's kind of what you do. What does Floyd Mayweather do to his opponents? Shit on him, right?
He kind of dodges them, but I get what you're saying. Double main event.
Now you're calling me a Dodger. Wow. All right.
I didn't say you were a Dodger. I said he dodges his opponents. He does. Anyway, double main event.
But let's keep going.
First part of the main event, Vanilla Gorilla and Kano versus James and Dice K. So you're putting your student up against your hired muscle with a guy. I don't know much about James. We couldn't get enough information in time, but he's been regarded by your PR person. This wasn't me saying this. This is your PR person saying that he's one of your best students at the dojo. Are you trying to toughen him up to hire him in, or you want to see if he can actually win gold?
I'm going to see where he's at on his talent level. I've already been accused of putting him against an opponent that he has no chemistry with, has no history with. He doesn't even know. I'm sorry, his partner. He doesn't even know who his partner is. Has no history with him. So I've been accused at possibly setting up my guys for success already, which blows my mind. But my whole point of this is to see where one of our students is at the Extreme Fight World Academy and see where his head at, see what kind of beating he could take, see what kind of beating he could dish out. And if he puts a hell of a fight up, I know where he's at. If he wins, I even know better where he's at, but that's not going to happen. I have my money on my guys, and I think it's going to be pretty dominant. I would be willing to bet that they probably won't even get any moves off of my hired assassins, and if they do, it's going to blow my mind. I'll tell you that.
So what happens if Nick
and Kano will not like the words we're going to have backstage if somehow Dice K and his opponent somehow get hands on my guys. There's no reason why that should happen. So there's gonna be words backstage, and they know that. They know what they're looking at.
Wow, man, you are really something else as a businessman. I'm not saying anything negative that another person wouldn't say.
I'm looking at it as a tune-up fight for my guys, and if one of our students could do good, awesome. If not, beat him back down to where he needs to go.
Okay, we're missing because your PR person did not send us this in time, but we are. I know Vinny Maverick's on the card as well, and he's got a match.
I don't think that wasn't sent to you on time. I think I might have sent a text message out saying don't even send it over.
Jesus Christ, dude, we were trying to be professional here.
Me too. Professionally. Loving my company like I do. What do we need to show him for? For what? What do we need to show Vinny for? For what? Now,
because
I like his opponent he's going against. McKenzie's been a hell of a talent here. You see have you seen his crossbody from the top rope? That guy gets insanely high in here. So Vinny's gonna have his hands full this match. He better not be looking forward to me or Vanilla Gorilla or Kano or anyone. He needs to be worried about his opponent in front of him. Well, he got his opponent for a reason. Vinny,
one of your PR people just sent it. Here it is.
Oh my God!
Vinny Maverick versus McKenzie. This is this is one of your PR people. This is one of your PR people. Vinny Maverick versus Bray McKenzie. Before you get mad, let's talk about McKenzie. Bray McKenzie, he's already been signed to EFW. He's been a great addition, in my opinion. Very athletic.
Just give me a second. I'm just gonna type a message to my PR people real quick because I don't know. Just give me a second.
We're live, man. Oh man, this is folks at home. We apologize. Again, this is EFW. We have no control over it, so I do apologize for the delay. But
there we go. Fired.
Wow, you just fired your PR person? For real, man? Come on, man.
When you make mistakes in my company, yeah, I just sent her termination letter and told her to take care of herself.
The mistake was that she didn't send it in time. Like, we did not know.
The mistake was she sent it, and I told her don't send that photo over.
What do you have against Vinny Maverick, man? Like, dude, come on, man.
What do you mean? He's gone after it. Who in their right mind calls out me and my team? Who?
Anybody that's wanting to make a name for themselves. That's what they did in WWE.
No, it's someone that wants a death wish, and it's dumb on his part to even do that. That's not balls. That's dumb.
I mean, yes and no. I'm going to say yes and no.
Respectfully, right. Okay.
Respectfully, I will say yes and no. Okay. Also, one more on the card. Tomlinson versus Pirate Kennedy. I don't know either of these guys. I do know Kennedy's a pirate. How did you come across a pirate? Let's start there.
It's crazy. We were in Columbus for a convention. Extreme Fight World was called TORC, the Ohio Retro Gaming Convention. Shout out to Mike, by the way. He owns that and runs that. They invited us out. He said, I heard a lot about the company. I heard they put on a hell of a show, and I heard you guys do a lot of amazing things. So come on out and do what you guys do here. So I reached out to some talent down in Columbus. I like to kind of see what other fighters do around other places, even around the world. I mean, look at UFC, and fighting companies that have talent from around the world come in. So I went down there, and there were two guys that kind of caught my eye. A bunch of them, actually. A lot of talent down there in Columbus. Great. James Avery is teaching those guys down there very well. He's a veteran. And I said, you know what? Two of you guys. I want you two and you. Whoever wins this match, I'm going to sign you to EFW. And we'll see what happens. I don't have my money on anyone. I can't really give you an opinion. I haven't really seen these talents besides one time. So whoever wins, man, they're signed, and congratulations to them. I appreciate them stepping up. It's not really a lot of people that want to step up when they've got a contract on the line. They kind of get nervous, and these two are the first people to step up. So we'll see what happens.
Okay, I got it. Because your publicist or one of them, look, we didn't threaten anything. We said in order for us to do our job the correct way, we had to get the proper information. I didn't know that you told them not to send us this, okay? We don't get in contact with you. You got to.
It's not your fault. But for once, something is not your fault, okay? It was my PR people's fault, and that's why they got fired.
But your other publicist, Tim, is telling us, like, it's our fault, and we don't even have direct contact with you. We got to go through these people.
Well, he knew what the plan was. Obviously, he didn't get fired, so that's why the PR person's fired. He knew that picture wasn't going up. I don't know how the message didn't get to her in time, but guess what? I'll hire a new one. It's fine. I'll go in Indeed and type it up. We'll be good.
Wow. For the PR lady, we do apologize. We're sorry. If you need
don't
any help,
apologize for her messing up. Don't apologize for her messing up.
People Tim's going to go in. Man.
Tim will interview one tomorrow and replace her. It's not a big deal.
Wow.
When you screw up that bad and put Vinny's face up on the podcast that I'm on, you're gone. Only thing worse than that is showing Dio Salvador.
Man. Oh wow. Okay. Main event. Napier, Christian Napier versus Ashton Day. The challenge was issued 2 weeks ago. Has it really been answered, or is Ashton gonna do what he said he's gonna do and just drag Napier out from the back? You've already signed Napier, like you said. Ashton, longtime member of EFW. Is this match official?
Listen, from what I understand, it's official. Okay, I've personally not talked to Napier. Some of those 4-0 guys in the city, they do what they want. I might not respect it, but as of right now, they're not even on my mind or on my radar. I don't care about those 4-0 guys: Atticus, Ricky, Shane Page, Vincent Nothing. I don't care about them. They're not even on my radar. That gold that you've seen, that belt is on my radar. But as far as that match goes, I would love to see Napier show up and see what's going to happen, because when someone calls you out like Ashton did, and not only calls you out, but does it a day before wrestling a guy like EC3 for a title, you have to show up to that, or you're not coming back from that one, man.
Yeah, so very true.
Yeah, I would say it's signed. I would say it's good to go. I seen Napier share it on one of his social medias when I was browsing on my phone board in the airport. So I'm going to go out and say that just because he's silent and hasn't said anything back to Ashton, I think his fighting is going to do a lot of his talking for him. I'm really excited for this. I'm personally, after we're done, after we're done with Dice K and the DJ, I'm personally gonna get dropped off to the airport and hop on the jet and put that match streaming right on my phone. I wanna watch that main event, and that's gonna be one hell of a fight. I cannot wait to see that. I'm excited as a fight fan, not even an owner of the company, because like I said, after on your show here in Ash today, kind of threatened us about doing whatever he's got to do to get the belt. I'm going to push that to the side and be just a fight fan for once and be excited.
I don't think he made a threat. I just feel like when you're slighted as a person and you've worked hard, there's a shot that you do deserve. And if you keep getting overlooked, something's got to give. I can understand where he was coming from with that, personally.
Do you remember the direct quote he said? Do you have that at all? Because I remember it was something along the lines of, no matter something about an owner or the owner over there, I'm going to do what I have to do to get gold. And like I said, I kind of have the same mindset. So if you're taking a shot at me, you better hope that bullet missed, because my guys are going to fire back. So we'll see where Ashton's mindset's at after this show and after trying to go against EC3. And like I said, hopefully he can bring a title. I would love for him to try to even show off gold in our company compared to our belt. I would love for it. Bring it on. Show it over. And let's see you go. Let's see you be one of my guys for the title. Let's see you go against Phil Gorilla when he wins the gold, or Josh when he wins the gold. Have fun.
Tim, we didn't say he was slighted in EFW. We said he's been slighted, because he has. There have been opportunities that he's probably been overlooked for. And on top of that,
there has been. Yeah, like I said, he's the next thing out of the city. I promise you. He keeps it up. The kid's a hell of a talent. He's going to be the next big thing out of the city.
So, Tim, we weren't saying anything that obviously Mr. Rotten didn't agree with. It's true. He has been overlooked. So I'm not going to say he's overlooked in EFW, but again, this is one of those scenarios. We don't even know what the heavyweight title bracket looks like. So maybe he's on it. Maybe he has a feeling he's not on it. Whatever the case is, he said
Ashton's on it. I'll tell our fight fans flat out. Ashton's already stamped his way into the tournament. He's there. He's good to go. Unfortunately, the match he didn't lose, Dio Salvador stamped his way into the tournament too, which did not make me happy. So there's a couple stamps that are already in the tournament for sure. There's a couple stamps that are getting rubbed off and erased off for their own mistakes, like Alex Daniels.
I still don't agree with that one, but
possibly. Company. I mean, hey, possibly someone like Johnny McChesney might even be wiped off. It just really depends who's been talking about me and what they want to do. I know Johnny's been wrestling in PA where he's from, and that's all well and fine. We all hate Pittsburgh, so I don't know why we don't all hate Johnny too. But we'll see what he is. We'll see how he goes. He kind of, even though he came out and got the fans excited about Extreme Fight World, that's not his job. That's my job. So that kind of pissed me off a little bit.
You get pissed off easily. I do have a question.
Yeah.
I do have a question, because you mentioned it. The fourth row. For those of you that don't know, Christian Napier is a member of the fourth row, along with Vincent Nothing and Ricky Shane Page. What is your beef with them? They're not even EFW people.
I don't really have beef, honestly. They have a lot of beef between themselves. Ricky and Atticus just did a barbed wire match on New Year's, so that's what I said. I'm not even.
We heard about that.
Guys. I'm not even focused on those guys. They have their own issues to worry about within their own circle. You know, it'd be like me and Vanilla Gorilla and Kano all beefing with each other. What point would that make? My eyes on heavyweight gold. Our eyes on heavyweight gold, no matter who has it. And for those that don't know, we're going to be introducing pretty much Freebird titles soon, where it's pretty safe to say that Extreme Fight World's pretty clicked up, just like fighting camps are in UFC and around the world, as they should be. You should have your teams back. You should protect your guys. You should be training with your team, bettering yourself, just like any other fight camp would, any other person fighting for a title, all of those things. It's pretty safe to say that the Freebird title, we're going to be like tag belts, but basically anyone in your group can defend it. Or if there's 4 versus 4, 3 versus 3, the titles are on the line. It's going to be an open belt a camp. Basically, your camp's going to have that belt, not just one fighter, but that whole camp is going to be able to represent that belt. So it's going to be very interesting soon to see groups like the 440, or groups like Cash Inc. if they get a couple more members, or me if I had a couple more guys to our group that are assassins or loyal enough, that happen to like money or things like that. It's gonna be real interesting to see. We're gonna have that title come along with the heavyweight title, but obviously our heavyweight title is our gold prize, and that's probably going to belong to Vanilla Gorilla or Kano coming up real soon.
Now, I do have to keep in mind you did say the word assassins in that statement, so
of course.
So you heard it here.
So you don't think my guys are killers? You really want me to have them go against, turn it up against Daisuke a little bit? You really want me to tell them, hey, just beat the living hell out of Daisuke and DJ. Don't even give them a chance. Don't even let them breathe. I could have them ramp it up. I just told them, hey, tune up this match. Get a little warm up. I don't need you guys to do nothing crazy. Let's just warm up. But if you need me to turn it on, I could tell them turn the heat up.
What we said is just what we repeated was just what you said. You're hiring assassins to take people out. That's what you just said. Assassins. We all know if you're not watching or you have watched or if you've watched a kung fu movie, you know what an assassin is. Mm-hmm. Those are hired people to kill. So why are we being crucified for saying something that you said?
It's like you're poking fun at the point that you don't understand that no matter what's going to happen, I'm going to have gold in my lap. I'm going to carry around our EFW title that is rightfully ours. I can't just go take it as much as I want to be as the owner. It doesn't work that way. Dana White doesn't walk around with UFC titles. He can't just take them. You have to have people earn those things. And as the owner of the company, it just so happens that I actually want to have that gold, and I have the goal for my brother, even though we didn't get along before he passed away from COVID, John Rodden. I want to bring that gold home and just kind of give him, if I'm being kind of honest with you, a big FU to his face, even though he's dead. Me and my brother never got along. Why this company was even left to me, I don't know. Maybe did it as a joke, showing me, hey, I did something that you couldn't do, but I got news for you, bud. I'm doing it. We're running. I'm gonna have gold, something you never had. You had a group of guys that were a bunch of bums that weren't even loyal to you, and I got a group of assassins that will kill on sight for me. I got more money than John ever had in his life, and it's not my fault he died and left his insurance policy to no one because our parents didn't even like him, and he ran off to Florida and did some stuff. That has nothing to do with me. I already had money before John, but guess what? I already had a bunch more coming to my bank account because my brother passed away and no one wanted to deal with it. So I went and signed the paper, and another big FU to his face. So not only did you pass away and die, John, I got your money. I now have your company because it was left in the will to me because you had no one else to will it to. And now I'm going to put gold around my waist from my assassins bringing it into me. And I'm going to carry it around everywhere as a big FU to my dead brother. Call me whatever you want. Call me a savage. Call me ruthless. That's just the way I feel about it. That's just the way I feel about it. That's why I don't care if it's Ashton. I don't care if it's Vinny. I don't care if it's what's his name? The little Mexican dude, Dio Salvador. I don't care who it is.
Wow.
You're not going to take
That did sound a little racist. Just a little.
He's Mexican, right? Or is he Puerto Rican? I don't remember. Which one?
As far as we know, he's a little bit of both.
I don't know what he is. I just see the long caveman curly hair and the beard and whatever he comes out with doing. And I really don't understand why the crowd cheers for him. I think they're a bunch of idiots for doing that, but I can't control.
He's a good wrestler. He's a very good wrestler.
I can't take a horse and make it drink the water at the pond. It's just going to die and drown itself, just like our crowd. They're going to cheer him on, and they're going to drown their feelings and emotions when he gets beat every damn time. He got lucky. He's won, I promise.
He's a very good wrestler, sir. With all due respect, he's a very good wrestler. He knows what he's doing in the ring.
He's not good. Just a little bit. Listen, I've wrestled him in the ring. He's not good. He only beat me because I was going through some things and couldn't focus on it mentally, and that's the only reason why he beat me at that time. If I was focused mentally, he wouldn't even stood a chance. So I don't think he's that good. I just think he gets lucky.
Okay. All right. I have no fight in this. So with that, how can we find EFW on the internet, on social media?
Just go to the Google machine, type in, or whatever you want, Instagram, Google machine, the Facebook machine, and you type in Extreme Fight World, and you'll see these amazing, beautiful orange letters pop up in your face. And give us a like or give us a follow. Even if you hate us, follow, because some people like to see people fall, and those are called haters, and you're never, ever, ever, ever going to see me and my guys fall. So follow along, hate us, and enjoy the show.
There you go. So with that being said, here's the rundown once again for the card at EFW Adrenaline this Friday night. We have Mars, the new referee, apparently, that because unfortunately Nick Barney is no longer there or will not be there for a while.
He's suspended for this show. I got to have a talk with Nick about what happened with Alex Daniels and me and Josh. I just haven't had time, and I'm going to talk with Nick after this. I just didn't appreciate the way he counted during our match.
Okay, fair enough. So once again, we got Mars as a new referee. Hopefully she does well. Tomlinson versus Kennedy. We'll see that match. We'll also see
contract on the line. Yep.
We'll also see Vinnie Maverick versus Bray McKenzie.
God.
Okay, we get it. I'm just going through the card, man. I have to go through the card. It's professional.
Yep, and I had to fire her too. So
with that, the triple threat tag team match: Cash Inc. versus Collins and versus Beatdown. Then after that, you got the triple threat match singles with Salvador, Butchie, and J Rock. Following that, we got Alejandra, LaShawn. I'm excited for this match. I can't wait to see it personally.
Me too.
And then with that, you got Mr. Crummels versus Pastor CeeLo. I gotta go with the award for match of the night with this one, just because it's two exciting people that you never thought would step in the ring again, and I can't wait. Co-main event: Vanilla Gorilla and Kano Emmanuel versus James and Daisuke.
Hold on, bud. Again, this is why I fired the PR woman. She obviously didn't send these to you in order. So there's a lot of things that are a little bit switched up, some of those match orders, but for the most part, she probably sent them to your right. But again, this is why I fired her.
We're just going with what was sent, man. I don't want no trouble. Don't want no smoke.
No, you're good. I'm just explaining why, Tim sent her the order and she messed it up. I don't know if she had her personal feelings in it. I don't know if she liked the little kitty cat guy, Daisuke, and thought I don't know. I don't know what her deal was. I thought she was a pretty intelligent girl, but obviously she's either doing things behind her back or not listening to Tim, and she's messing this up completely, just like she sent you Vinny's picture and shouldn't have. And I told her to cut Dios out of that picture too, but another mistake, so it's fine.
Well, he's part of the match. You got to advertise it right, man.
You could say his name. I don't need to see his face.
Okay, fine. And no, we didn't push a button with me. It's the truth. He's been a good wrestler. He's held his own in EFW. I can't do anything but respect that. That's all I'm saying. Moving on from the co-main event to the match of the night in the main event: Napier versus Ashton Day. This might be match of the year already. We'll see what happens if Napier shows up. If Ashton drags him out because there's bad blood with this one. Ashton's already using this as a tune-up match before his match with EC3, so we'll see what happens.
Which is insane to me. How do you wrestle someone that go fight someone that you've had bad blood with, and gonna go hopefully Ashton gets a quick knockout or a quick finish for his sake. But how are you gonna go with someone that you guys have had history and have had crazy matches where you've beaten the living hell out of each other, and then you're gonna go wrestle someone like the size of EC3 the next day for a world title?
He is a big dude.
Listen, that's why Ashton's number 3 on our list. For either he's insane or he's got that much balls and heart to him, and I think it's the second one, because I've watched the talent in the ring and I've watched what he's done, and he's amazing. The kid's great. I have nothing but great things to say about him besides what he threatened us with a little bit, but it's competition. So I
think that was a threat. I think he felt.
I took it as that way. When you offer it, when you're saying you're going to take my gold away from us, it's a threat no matter what.
Okay. Nevertheless, you can find all of these matches Friday night. Come see these matches Friday night at EFW's Adrenaline, 8 p.m. start, or 7:30 start. Excuse me.
Who's that real attractive guy in the middle of Nick and Kano right there? I can't really see. Is that me?
Man. That's you.
Oh my God! Look at that.
That's you.
Look how pretty. Look at that, dude. Oh my God, I
Wow.
can't wait to go on the jet afterwards. I'm going right to Miami. We're gonna go right to the club and celebrate our win afterwards.
So you
And this
really
and this
took a
beautiful
chance.
face is gonna go party up our victory, baby.
So you really took the chance to just point yourself out in your own flyer that I'm sure you had to stay in.
I had no say in the flyer. First of all, that's all. Well, it was the PR lady that got fired. So we'll see what happens with the next flyers. But I don't know who told her to put me on that flyer, but I got put on there. Um,
Wow.
makes the flyer look great, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It does.
Thanks, man.
Look,
Thanks.
again, you can go catch these matches. Doors open at 7:30. Bell time is at 8 o'clock. Get your tickets now. As far as we know, front row is already sold out. So that means it's going to sell out even faster by the time the show's over with, just because I know you're going to send people out to hurt people if they don't buy tickets. Go on efwstore.com/tickets to get your tickets. And I would say give some wrestlers some credit, but I don't know if you want me to say that for fear somebody in the back might get beat up.
No, the way we do things is if you're a fan of someone with Extreme Fight World, we want to see that you're a fan. So when you go buy tickets, just select their name, and we'll see who's actually the fans are they love. That's one way for us to judge, because you have fans out there that boo people like us and don't realize that you hate us just because you ain't us, basically. You're not like me. You're not like Vanilla Gorilla. You're not like Josh Kano, Manuel. So some people want to hate you and they just want to see you boo you no matter what. So I doubt you're going to select someone like my name or Vanilla Gorillas, just because the fans aren't that smart. But we want to see who they like out there. So select their name in the drop down if you buy tickets. So we could just kind of see who the fans are starting to love and hate.
Fair enough. I can agree to that. That's a pretty cool idea. So fans, if you're watching, go get your tickets. Get them now. Don't wait till the last minute and get to the door, because you will be turned away. I've seen people get turned away at EFW shows. It is not pretty. It's
this
hurtful.
This is what we do called we get back to our fans, and a lot of things we do is like we want to create hype around things, right? So a company has a good product, it sells out that fast. So that's why we're doing little pop-up shows for our fans. We're getting our close fans the chance to be the first ones to grab tickets to a small pop-up show with great talent, instead of a lot of companies who just kind of fill a room full of seats and want people to come. We're going to have our major shows for on Fight TV pay-per-view. Those will be our bigger shows coming out probably around April or May. But as far as this goes, this is our small studio, and if you're not fast enough with buying the tickets and you don't understand or get the information fast enough, and you're late on the news, you're going to get turned out the door. We will announce if it's sold out, so you don't waste your time coming. But there's a bunch of people that do show up at the door that don't have the things to buy on the internet, with as far as like credit cards or debit cards, and I have all that stuff, but respectfully, not everyone's on my level.
We know.
If you can't afford those kind of things or have a debit card, people show up at the door a lot and pay with straight cash. So I don't want to see you show up and get turned away. Get there early, get there when the doors open or beforehand, because you will possibly get the chance of getting turned down.
We know you got money, man. You ain't got to rub it in. We know. I've
I'm just stating facts.
I've seen the bins that you drive.
I doubt Vanilla Gorilla is going to tell you what his contract is, because it's kind of a non-disclosure. I told him. But at this point, I don't really care what he says. He could say whatever he wants, because he'll show you how much money I have and how much he's been paid.
We know, dude. I've seen the bins you drive into the shows. I've seen it.
Which one? Which one? The orange one or the gray one?
No, the solid gold one that says "I'm rich" on the license plate. I've seen that one.
I've seen it. You know what's crazy? I actually just turned that in and sold it. I got a new one, so I don't have that one no more.
Wow. So, folks, if you're watching, yes, he do got money. I don't know what to say, but he do got money and he likes to flaunt it. Nevertheless, Ronnie, thank you for being on with us.
When your brother dies and he's a trash bag, you're gonna flaunt all that money that he messed up with. So
I can't. I don't even know how to respond to that.
Hey, I don't need you to respond. It's okay.
With that being said, Ronnie, thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you. I'm sorry your publicist got fired, or one of them got fired. Thank you for being on again. For those at home watching, don't forget to check the rest of our slate out on the 216 Sports Network. We got 4th and 15, the Jay Rich Show, Sports Minute, Rulers Minute, the Rulers Minute with Rico McGee, Straw Brothers Sports Show, and Outside Interference. If you would like to, you could donate to our Cash App, the 216 Sports Network. Every little bit helps us continue to do this. We like doing this. We like the media. We love covering pro wrestling, and a couple of us are pro wrestling fans. So don't be surprised if you see us at an EFW show. I already told my guys before you even say anything, I have already told my guys they have to pay for their tickets. I know how much you do this. You only do this to us, but I've already told them they have to pay for their tickets. So that's already
I
out the way.
would absolutely love for you guys to show up and do your little sports broadcast thing you do. But yeah, you're gonna have to pay to do that. So me personally, I wouldn't follow the sports network. But for the fans out there watching, go ahead and follow them. Obviously, they have amazing people like me on there, so you might want to check in once in a while and give them a follow so you can see who they're going to interview and bring on the show.
Man, rich people, man. You gotta not even rich people, Cleveland rich people. It's always Cleveland rich people.
What? I mean, Jake Paul is rich from Cleveland. He's a great dude.
Logan Paul even claim Cleveland. And Logan's in the WWE. He beat up the Miz and ain't even looked back.
I mean, look, you got a lot of rich, wealthy people from Cleveland. It's not our fault that you're not in that circle with us. Like I said, people hate us because they ain't us. So it's just that simple. Maybe I'll see you Friday and I'll come have a talk with you when we get our victory here. Maybe I'll let you interview one of my guys because I feel bad for your company here. So maybe I'll let you guys get an exclusive interview backstage with one of our guys. I'll get back to you because donations. I feel bad.
Wow, donations now? Okay. All right. So for Mr. rotten and Extreme Fight World, for the 216 Sports Network, I'm Mel. That's Mr. Rotten. We will see you guys